It seems like recently there's been a lot of MMOs in development that are trying to capture that retro feel that made the genre popular in the first place. Games such as Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen, Project Gorgon, Legends of Aria, Shroud of the Avatar, and a new one you probably haven't heard of yet, Gran Skrea Online. Now initially I tried to make a first impressions video using my normal format for this game, but unfortunately my footage got corrupt, so instead I'll just talk you through what this game actually is and what the first few hours of gameplay turns out like. First things first, Gran Skrea Online is a buy-to-play third-person MMORPG available on Steam Early Access for about £7, and currently as of making this video has 82% positive reviews, which is quite impressive considering it was made by an indie dev. Starting out, you'll have to make a character and choose both a weapon and profession. The choice you make here doesn't matter too much as every character can train every profession and also use every weapon. This choice only boosts your level in the selected skills to 5, which is a nice head start. Other than that, you've got a few presets to choose from and that's pretty much it. Initially the game launches in windowed mode, but if you go into the settings and scroll down you can then switch to full screen mode and fix the resolution. With that done, the next thing you do is talk to the big yellow exclamation mark that you're probably used to in MMOs by now. The first thing you'll be asked to do is meet a blacksmith who teaches you to mine ore, turn that ore into bars, then turn the bars into weapons, shields or armor. The way the crafting and profession system works in this game is identical to old school Runescape, which is a system that I've always personally enjoyed. The way it works is that at different levels of blacksmithing you can craft different tiers of armor. Right off the bat you can make iron, then at level 7 you can make steel, but to equip the steel armor you also need to have leveled up your heavy armor skill by fighting in heavy armor. If you've ever played RuneScape, this will all make complete sense to you. After you've crafted your first set of armor, you're then told to go to the beach where you fight your first monster, which is a giant crab. The combat in this game is rather basic tab targeting that feels quite unpolished and unresponsive at times. The animations aren't great and it doesn't seem like there's an auto retaliate option when you're attacked. You'll always need to press tab followed by your basic attack or another attack. This is fine when fighting one mob at a time, but when fighting multiple at once it turns into a bit of a clusterfuck. After you've killed the crab, the game then teaches you how to fish, then how to cook those fish, and finally teaches you how to turn wool into bandages which you can use to heal yourself. Once again, this whole tutorial experience reminded me a lot of Tutorial Island from old school RuneScape. The ending of the tutorial comes with your character attending a feast with some monks, and a boy being discovered as murdered. Then you need to question the monks, figure out who killed him, accuse the guy who did it, and pursue him as he tried to escape. It was at this point I started to have more fun with the game, realizing that there's actually been a bit of effort put into the storytelling with multiple choice questions, the need to actually read what's going on, and quests having multiple stages to them. After that you're given a torch and need to chase the murderer down through some caves and eventually confront him. He injures your friend, somehow manages to escape, and that concludes the tutorial. After that you're told to go out into the world and fend for yourself. It's at this point where Gran Skrea Online opens up quite a bit. You learn that the questing isn't exactly linear in this game, and there's seemingly no minimum level requirement to take a quest. The first quest I did upon leaving the tutorial was one where a guy asked me to pick some herbs. I thought to myself, oh, it's just a simple collect quest, easy. But after I collected them, the guy told me to then find his brother and put the herbs in a summoning circle. It turns out my character was then ambushed to be sacrificed so that the farmers could have a better harvest season. I killed the ambushers, I killed the brother, and I completed the quest receiving alchemy experience as a reward. Here I realized that in this game you don't actually have an overall combat level. You earn XP in a skill that was relevant to the quest, once again similar to how RuneScape works. I returned to the guy who gave me the initial quest and I told him that I killed his brother. The game then gave me two options: kill the quest giver or let him live. I chose to kill him because I felt like being a bit of a dick, but it was cool that the game even gave me that option. The thing I quite like about Gran Skrea Online is that it feels much more like an RPG in comparison to other MMOs. Right out of the tutorial, you're free to progress your character in whichever way you like, whether it to be in one specific path or multiple at once. After I finished the herb quest I came to another quest which asked me to clear an abandoned mine from a troll that lived there. I assumed it'd be fairly easy, but when I saw the troll, he was actually level 18 and kicked my ass. This surprised me a lot considering the quest was given to me in the town next to the tutorial area. After trying a few other quests, I found that the questing was very non-linear. You don't start off on one side of the zone and work your way to the other doing quests relevant to your level. You explore and have to find quests that you can actually do, and if you can't kill the mobs, then you go away, level up your armor via blacksmithing, then come back and try again. Alternatively, if you had a group of friends to play with, then you could choose to take on these harder quests at a much lower level and most likely progress way quicker. After my defeat to the troll, I spent a lot of time leveling up my blacksmithing and crafting a full set of steel armor. This had a big impact on my character's power, and I could then kill the troll and finish the quest, which gave me some nice rewards. After that, I explored for a bit, did a few more quests which had multiple stages to them, and eventually got stuck on a dungeon quest because I ran out of food and bandages. Another aspect of Gran Skrea you need to consider is that this game has a weight limit. Every item has weight, and instead of inventory slots you have inventory weight, which going over results in you being encumbered. Where this becomes interesting is that you can actually increase your weight by crafting and wearing workers' clothes, which will triple or even quadruple your weight limit, allowing you to gather much more efficiently. In total, I played Gran Skrea Online for about 3 hours, and despite the game's bad graphics, wonky combat and lack of polish, I actually enjoyed it overall simply because it felt a lot more like an RPG than other MMOs. I enjoyed having to read the quests. I liked that whenever you enter a dungeon, your map would disappear so you actually have to explore. I liked the non-linear sandbox feeling the game gave me, and I absolutely loved that they used a RuneScape style skill and progression system. Despite being very rough around the edges, I think this is a game you'd actually have a good amount of fun with playing in a group, and although it's quite a niche game, I think there's some ideas that other games in development could take away from this, such as removing mini-maps when entering dungeons and caves to promote exploration. For years now, I've always wanted a third-person version of RuneScape with modern graphics and good combat, and whilst that game doesn't exist, I think Gran Skrea Online is currently the closest thing I've played to that type of game, and if you're open to playing more old school MMOs, I think you might get some enjoyment out of this one. With all that said, do let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below, and also, why do you think so many MMOs are currently being made with old school graphics and gameplay in mind? Are old school MMOs really better, or does it have more to do with having lower expectations and being blinded by nostalgia? Also, if you're not aware already, I actually have a Discord server which I plan on using a lot more in the future. If you want to suggest MMOs to play or discuss multiplayer games in general, I'll leave a link in the description in every new video from now on so you can join that. But thanks for watching, I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you again really soon.